When all the world sinks into perfect silence, Selene, goddess of the moon, glides across the night sky riding her silvery celestial carriage. Have you ever wondered why moonlight always falls so softly upon the eyes of sleeping souls? This is an ancient legend woven around eternity, quiet stillness, and a love that bears the tinge of selfish longing. Tonight let us descend alongside the gentle moonlight and step into a forgotten past known only to the realm of dreams. Deep within the secluded valley of Mount Latmos lies a mortal man who has slumbered for 3,000 long years. It is the cruelest yet most perfect gift Selene has bestowed upon him: eternal youth and an endless unbroken stream of dreams. This is far more than a simple tale of celestial beings. It is a midnight ode laced with profound loneliness and quiet companionship. Close your eyes, sink into the tender flow of the narration, and listen to the untold secret the moon goddess has never revealed to any living soul. Selene fell deeply in love with a mortal man, yet consumed by the fear of losing him she chose to trap him in everlasting slumber. Is this devotion a tender act of protection or another form of eternal confinement? On this calm night when you need not strive to remember every detail of the tale, let your heart sink into peace beneath the glow of silvery moonlight. May Selene's lunar radiance light up the path of your dreams and wash away all worldly weariness, disturbance, and restless thoughts. Within the twinkling starry legends of ancient Greece there exists a secluded place where time itself has frozen completely. This sacred spot is Mount Latmos, nestled among quiet mountains and hidden valleys, where rests a handsome shepherd trapped in an endless sleep that has stretched across 3,000 years. His face never ages, his brow never furrows, and the steady rhythm of his breath remains unchanged, exactly as it was on that fateful night long ago. All of this traces back to an almost obsessive love held by one divine being, Selene, the timeless moon goddess of the Titan race. Each night she steers her moon chariot to patrol the mortal world, witnessing the endless cycle of birth, growth, aging, and death among humankind. Yet at the moment their fates intertwined, she could not bear the thought of her mortal beloved fading away with the passage of time, and begged the heavens to grant him an eternal dreamlike slumber. We are left to ponder whether this was an act of gentle salvation or a gilded silver cage of endless restraint. On this serene quiet night let us wander deep into the shadows cast by the moon and uncover the hidden answer lingering behind Selene's lonely figure. The pivotal turning point of the tale arrived on an ordinary night as Selene guided her white divine steeds across the mountain ridges. Just as she did every evening, soft silvery moonlight spilled over the grasslands of Mount Latmos, laying across the earth like a thin layer of frosted silver. It was then that her gaze fell upon Endymion. He was no grand king, no mighty hero, merely a young shepherd tending his flock upon the quiet hillside. Leaning against a rugged rock he drifted into a light nap, and the moonlight traced the flawless lines of his profile, a raw mortal vitality so captivating that even an eternal goddess could not help but hold her breath. Selene brought her celestial carriage to a gentle halt, suspended high in the night sky. Never before had she beheld such quiet beauty in a living being at rest. In that moment her immortal heart, which had beaten calmly through 10,000 years in the cold empty void of space, trembled with an emotion she had never known. She began lingering longer and longer each night, reluctant to depart, until the rosy glow of Eos, dawn goddess, painted the horizon and urged her to return to the heavens. She found herself falling deeply for this mortal soul, charmed by the rise and fall of his chest as he breathed, enchanted by his youthful radiance that time could so easily steal away from its very beginning. This love carried a quiet anxiety toward inevitable ruin, for Selene understood all too well that mortal life is as fleeting as morning dew, brief, fragile, and transient, a heartbreaking flaw she as an eternal goddess could never reconcile or endure. As countless quiet nights passed in gentle companionship, Selene's quiet anxiety slowly transformed into a tender form of selfish longing. She would descend from the heavens, pressing a soft kiss to his forehead while Endymion lingered between wakefulness and dream, the delicate touch filling her heart with bliss yet stirring quiet fear. She watched him stir awake, searching vaguely for the faint lingering scent left by her presence, and witnessed him mature gradually as the years slipped by. Selene grew increasingly terrified, dreading the day his bright eyes would grow dim and clouded with age, fearing his golden hair would turn white with the frost of passing time. Though she ruled over the tranquility of every night, she held no power to halt the relentless flow of time. Through countless lonely patrols across the starry sky, Selene finally made a life-altering decision that would bind both their fates forever. She chose not to grant Endymion immortality and divine status, for the eternal life of a god is forever tangled in heavy responsibilities, endless conflict, and ceaseless strife. All she desired was to freeze this perfect moment, forever preserving his pure, unmarred beauty, keeping him solely and eternally hers. She journeyed to the throne of Zeus, king of the heavens, bowing in humble supplication to plead for an unnatural divine blessing. She begged him to cast Endymion into an unbreakable deep sleep, one from which he would never wake, in exchange granting him the gift of ageless, eternal youth. The moment Zeus nodded in assent, a strange silvery mist wrapped around the entire valley of Mount Latmos on that quiet ordinary evening. Endymion closed his eyes to rest just as he had done countless times before, yet he would never open them again. Selene descended gracefully from the moonlit sky, no longer hiding her affection. She embraced her beloved freely without restraint. The plants and grasses of the valley remained evergreen all year round, blessed endlessly by the lingering glow of moonlight, and the murmuring stream softened its flow, afraid of disturbing the endless dream of the slumbering shepherd. Every night Selene returns with her moon chariot, sitting quietly beside him, keeping watch over him as one tends an eternal unwavering flame. She whispers to her sleeping beloved of her loneliness, wandering the empty heavens, recounts the winding paths of the stars, and pours out her quiet unease toward the shifting order of Olympus. Endymion became her only confidant, though he never spoke a word in reply. His steady peaceful breath alone was enough to offer her the companionship she craved, yet such perfect tranquility always carries a hidden price. To hold on to this frozen moment, Selene severed every bond connecting Endymion to the mortal world. He no longer had friends or family, no share in mortal joy, sorrow, laughter, or tears, reduced to nothing more than a living, exquisitely carved statue trapped in endless stillness. Across the endless stretch of passing centuries, Selene's love endured countless bouts of self-doubt, inner struggle, and quiet torment. There were nights she wondered if Endymion would hate her should he ever wake to behold a world utterly changed beyond recognition, yet he remained peacefully asleep, a faint soft smile lingering upon his lips as if wandering through far happier realms within his dreams. Selene began to wonder if this endless slumber was itself a precious gift trapped in the dream world. He might still roam free as the shepherd he once loved. To sustain this unbroken dream, Selene paid a heavy personal cost. She must remain ever vigilant against the golden chariot of the sun god standing guard over the valley. At the moment day and night shift into one another, she grew quieter with each passing year, growing ever more attached to the cover of darkness, for only within the stillness of night could she hold her love completely undisturbed. The balance between them beneath the moonlight seemed utterly unequal, yet strangely harmonious. She stood as the exalted bestower of fate, while he remained the passive recipient of her will, a quiet prisoner of eternal rest. Yet together they formed the most peaceful, undisturbed corner of the world. Times changed, dynasties rose and fell, and the thrones of Olympus shifted time and again, yet the hidden valley of Mount Latmos remained untouched and unchanged. This quiet resilience against the flow of time set Selene apart from all other gods. She guarded not the order of the world, but a single frozen moment of perfect love. As the tale draws to its gentle close, we come to understand that Selene guarded far more than merely her mortal beloved. She preserved the possibility of eternal stillness, carving out a quiet sanctuary amid a chaotic, restless world, a place where weary souls could linger without the need to wake and face life's burdens. We now find the answer to the question posed at the start: was this tender devotion a loving protection or an inescapable gilded cage? To Selene, these two sides were never truly divided, for love itself holds both the will to cherish and the urge to keep what one holds dear. For the slumbering shepherd, escaping the ravages of time, aging and sorrow, remaining forever young beneath the tender gaze of a loving goddess, may also be regarded as a quiet blessing. Even now, whenever we gaze up at the pale glowing moon drifting across the clouds, remember that Selene is hurrying toward her beloved valley. She lingers there still, her silvery gaze watching gently over every soul drifting off into peaceful dreams. You need not fret over trivial worries awaiting you at dawn, nor fear the uncertain changes of the future. Tonight let the moonlight keep watch over your spirit. Allow your breath to grow slow and steady, just as Endymion's does, and let all your wandering thoughts drift away with the lunar glow toward the quiet slopes of Mount Latmos. Sink deep into the boundless eternal stillness and drift into calm, untroubled slumber. Good night.